Hi, good morning, it's Jim from maverickstar. We're looking at the Nobel Peace Prize. It's a prestigious award given to people for extraordinary achievements. And like everything else in this day and age, we see these things now being given to people that shouldn't really be in possession of them. I'll give you for instance, Barack Obama was one of the candidates that won a Nobel Peace Prize, and in competition with him for that prize was a woman that during the Second World War smuggled over 80 children out of a concentration camp and was nominated for the prize but didn't get it. Barack Obama did. Now you tell me where the justice is in this world when Barack Obama gets a Nobel Peace Prize and a woman for her heroic efforts in smuggling over 80 children out of a concentration camp in a little wheelbarrow. What was a work or a tool chest that she used to pull around with her. You tell me where the justice is in this world today, in this day and age, when people like Barack Obama get the Nobel Peace Prize and women like her, who have now died, do not receive recognition for it. I would be embarrassed and ashamed if I was given that trophy against competition like her. To me, when I started studying science, this was all I ever wanted. I wanted to be in receipt of a Nobel Peace Prize. That was really what was driving me, to advance myself in the learning of sciences and things like that. And I just think I'd be ashamed if I did ever get one there. I just think, the world has got so corrupt that they have destroyed anything like this. The Nobel Peace Prize was something in its day, and today they give it the likes of Barack Obama over, heroic women that have, contributed to, saving and helping many lives. It's the day and age we live in, guys, and I think you understand it as well. Before we go any further, just a quick shout out to a few people. Doug, Jen, Bob, Kathy, Susan, Brian. You are the people that stick with this observatory through a multitude of weather. It's like being on the sea in a ship, and we take everything that comes our way in order to move forward, and it isn't easy. Trust me, guys, it's not easy. One of the things I wanted to talk about in this video, just briefly, is the testing of the coronavirus, and the messy business of technology that is being utilised, in my view, just ridiculously incorrectly. What I would do if I was given the task of coming up with something for identifying the coronavirus, I would use something like facial recognition, a couple of objectives like 2000 to 2500 zoom, so we could have a look at the virus under microscope using computer technology, actuation similar to what is used on a 3D printer, so we can move the bed about which the slide is on, which has got the saliva on there, and we can move it left and right, up and down very quickly, driven by a program which can use almost the same technology as facial recognition, and it will identify the coronavirus accurately, and it can do so through the speed of computer processing many times a second, so probably 100 confirmations that is identified the coronavirus cell within 1 second or 2 seconds, and that would be it. Simple as that. None of this isolating DNA and checking the deoxyribonucleic acid and things like that. None of that business. All you need to do is just have some very simple technology put together with some actuation systems, and you've got a best identification process in place. You can imagine this, a conveyor with slides coming down the conveyor under the microscope, which has got some stepper motors attached to it, and the objectives are zooming in and out, left and right, identifying, more than once the virus, and then the slide obviously gets sent to one direction if it's got a positive and another direction if it's a negative. How fast could that identification process be used and be highly accurate? We're not seeing this from these people that are supposed to be delivering state-of-the-art technology. In my view, that would be the best way of identifying this, and you'd have a recognition system in less than a minute, whereas opposed to an hour or 90 minutes that we've got right now. But the problem is, as always, and you guys probably can associate with this, is that we live in a day and age where the wrong people do have the wrong jobs, and as a result of that we seem to be going backwards in technology, not using the full capabilities of what we've got, because we really live in an age where we can create a heaven on earth, yet it's slowly becoming a hell on earth, and that's because of the corruption. The bottom line is, guys, we screwed up when we were slowly weaned out of self-sufficiency. I'm talking about the time where it was natural and normal for people to grow their own food and live off the land and support local communities and things like that. When we started to be weaned off that system, that's when we screwed up, because now we've got people like Jamie Dimon, who works for Goldman Sachs, who orders people to go into people's pensions, the rainy day fund, the retirement money, and steal it. And he turns around and says, I don't care, just do it, just get me that money. And those people that have worked for their whole lives, that was planning a retirement with that money, have lost it overnight. We did it to ourselves because we trusted these mongrels that are running the show right now. And this COVID-19 is being exploited massively by governments across the range. Europe, the United States, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, everywhere. It is being exploited massively because it is seen as less offensive than war, because otherwise we would be at war. Because let's face it, who audits the military when they go to war and start bombing a country? Nobody counts the bombs that are dropped. It's easy for a government to say we've spent trillions of pounds on bombs that were used in a war that was never used in the first place. All you need to do is create a scene, and it is open season for writing checks. Trust me now, guys. It is nothing but a 9/11 scam, in my view. Yes, COVID-19 exists, but it is nothing worse than seasonal flu. And it won't be the last time that we see another pandemic emerge in this world. It was allowed to get to the point where it is right now, so that it could be exploited globally by every global leader. What sort of world are we slowly emerging into is what I questioned this morning whilst having a cup of coffee. When you take a look around and you see the world leaders that are in power, that are unfit for purpose to start with. And it's a no wonder that we've got now the troubles that we have on our hands as a result of their incapability to lead. Simple as that. Not one of them are fit for service. You know, it is depressing, guys. You know, since the start of this pandemic, you know, a lot of us have been locked up in our homes, told we can't go out. Now we're told we can't, enter a shop without having face masks on. It's abnormally ridiculous. You know, we don't need a government wiping our arse all the time, telling us what we can do and what we can't do. You know, they are getting completely out of control. They are abusing, you know, our basic human rights, telling us we can't, you know, go to the places of our worship if we choose to. You know, some religions are banned from entering into their places of worship. Can you imagine how God will feel about that? They've managed to achieve pretty much what has been written on the Georgia Guidestones, other than the fact that human life has not been reduced to 500 million. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that time comes. I watched a film which I'd seen before, but, you know, I watched it again. I hadn't seen it for years and years, and I sat there watching it for 3 hours. Schindler's List, as a reminder of how things can really get, you know, how life can be really disvalued. And, you know, I've said it before, it's a reminder of what sort of creatures we really are. You know, we are, at the end of the day, predators. Our eyes are in the front of our heads, not at the sides. So that makes us a predator. And it isn't a surprise that we start behaving like predators. And you know what? It is really disgusting to think how we can behave. I'm on a little bit of a negative today, guys, I'll be honest with you. Trying to think of positive things. But all I can think about is the reality of, you know, the time at which we're at the moment, and how terribly the resources of this world are going to misuse. If ever beings from another world witness what we are behaving like on this planet, they will never interact with us, and that's for sure, because we are so barbaric and haven't come together yet on this world. Even though our little continents are separated by oceans, you know, it is the same case for our world, separated by space. You know, it is an ocean, exactly the same. You know, we are primitive because we haven't yet found a way of travelling from this continent to another, or this planet to another yet, and we will at some point. That's if we don't destroy ourselves on this world. We will find a way of getting there eventually. I really don't know. You know, I think I'm having one of these negative days, really. I'm just going to end it here, guys. You know, there's a link down there if you want to put yourself to the trouble to support, you know, our observatory. It's up to you, and I'll say what I usually do. Bye for now.